Hello and welcome to this episode of Exploring the Wild Area. This episode, we are going to cover Mimikyu, who's personally one of my favorite Pokemon because it's just freaking cool and adorable. I don't really see a reason why I had to explain that. But anyways, so let's go ahead and let's start off with Dex entry, which its Dex entry says it wears a rag fashioned into a Pokemon let's try that again. It wears a rag fashioned into a Pikachu costume in an effort to look less scary. Unfortunately, the costume only makes it scarier. I have to agree, but I think it also makes it look a little bit cuter. So we take a look at the gender ratios of Mimikyu here. Mimikyu is 50.2% of the time a male and only 49.8% of the time a female. So it's pretty much a 50-50 split, just about. You have a slightly higher chance of encountering a male Mimikyu than you do a female Mimikyu. So let's go ahead and jump to its height and weight now. So its height and weight, once we find it here, I think I got all out of order here. Mimikyu is only 8 inches tall, so it's less than a foot tall. And it only weighs 1.5 pounds. Pretty heavy for a ghost Pokemon. Imagine having a 1.5 pound ghost sitting on you. That's quite crazy. So Mimikyu only has one ability, and that's Disguise, which once per battle, a Pokemon can withstand one damaging attack without receiving any damage. Damage inflicted through entry hazards, weather, or status conditions will not break the Disguise. Damage from confusion will break the Disguise. It causes 1/8 of max hit point damage when it breaks. So that is something that did get nerfed from Gen 7 to Gen 8. Gen 7, Mimikyu always lasted one free hit, and there's people running Focus Sash on top of that, so you basically got 2 free hits, that your Mimikyu could survive. But of course, now going to Gen 8, they did kind of nerf it a little bit, so now when Disguise breaks, it does take 1/8 of damage, which is still not terrible, but at least now it's not as nearly busted, and Focus Sash Mimikyu is no longer a thing. So let's go ahead and jump to its stats now. So its base stats total up to 476, which makes it a pretty solid Pokemon. Its base HP is at 55, its base attack is at 90, defense is at 80, special attack is at 50, special defense is at 105, and speed is at 96. So pretty decent speed to Mimikyu, and weirdly enough, it's actually more of a physical attacker than it is a special attacker, which is pretty rare for a ghost-type Pokemon, but not terrible. Let's go ahead, and the only places where you can catch a Mimikyu is at Bridgefield and Giant's Mirror. We're definitely going to take a look at Giant's Mirror here in a little bit to see, hopefully, if it has the weather conditions to where maybe we can encounter one and see one in the wild ourselves. If it doesn't, then once again, we'll have to wait until we get lucky enough. So at Bridgefield, you can find it wandering, but it has to be foggy. So the weather has to be fog. And then Giant's Mirror is a random grass encounter, which you can also find only in the fog. So let's go ahead and let's grab our Switch controller here. And if you ever need to find out where the Giant's Mirror is, so Giant's Mirror, just fly to Hammerlock Hills, and then, so last episode we went right to go to Lake of Outrage. This time we'll go left and then go down to Giant's Mirror. It's that one thing with kind of like a big hill surrounded by a little lake. You'll see it over here. So let's go ahead and jump on our bike and let's ride our happy faces over here. Avoid all the unruly wild Pokemon in this safari. It's always dangerous out here. Oh, there's a Hawlucha, in case you're looking for that, but we're not here. So basically we already see that little kind of like puddle here. There is, we're going to drive through. Ooh, it might be actually foggy here. Actually, this isn't it. I have to go down a little bit more. I know it's around this area somewhere, though. No, it's Stony Wilderness. I think that was it, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay, so see, I was right. So, it's going to be a random grass encounter. So this looks to be fog to me. Let's check. As we've learned, kind of have an issue determining what kind of weather it is. So it is foggy. That's definitely foggy. So we can try to encounter Mimikyu here. So Mimikyu is only going to be a grass encounter. We're not going to see it wandering. So you see where where the grass is rustling at? Let's see if we can. Let's get off our bikes. Get off our bikes. Get off our... And then, of course, now we're going to get jumped by a Morlo. Morlo, this is not your show. What is you doing? And of course, we don't really have the Pokemon for this. We do not really have the Pokemon to be battling this. So let's actually, like, we were not prepared for this safari in any way. I'm breeding Mudbreeze, so let's go ahead and we'll just grab one of our team members down here. Let's grab Poltegeist. Let's make a Poltegeist versus whatchamacallit battle. Here, we need to find Mimikyu. Mimikyu, where are you? Mimikyu. Alright, is this gonna be Mimikyu? Nope, it is a Milcery. There's only a 3% chance of this being a Mimikyu. So what we'll probably end up doing is just cutting until we find one. So go ahead and we'll not to... Okay, Mimikyu? Alright, there we go. So there you go, we didn't even have to try that hard. It was literally the next encounter. So, not too hard, it's a 3% chance, which is still pretty low, but we'll go ahead and just use a repeat ball here. Because we already caught one before. So we'll use a repeat ball on this one, and then let's take a look at our newly found caught. Which it doesn't actually want to be caught by a... Oh, crap. Get out of there, Poltegeist! Alright, this guy wants to play hard to get, man. Get in the ball, Mimikyu. There you go, we got a critical capture on it. That's just how big pros we are of catching things in the wild area. It's got a critical capture. So no, I'll say no to that, and now let's go ahead and we'll take a look at Mimikyu. Let's go ahead and take a look at our Mimikyu here. It's a Ghost and Fairy type. And these are the moves you can find Mimikyu with: Shadow Claw, Charm, Play Rough, and Pain Split. So, pretty decent. So that is, go ahead, that will be Mimikyu. So be sure you guys drop a comment on what Pokemon you guys want to see next. Be sure to like if you guys liked, disliked if you didn't, and I will see you guys next Wednesday for the next episode of Exploring the Wild Area. Don't forget the subscribe button, greatly appreciated, and I will see you guys then. Peace out.